This has what's called an IPSC target. See this kind of geometric target laid over the body. And then it highlights a couple things. So you can shoot it as a competitive target, but then it also has a silhouette of a body. This zone here, this rectangle here, and this rectangle here, same size, they're what's known as the Azone Shooting. So in IPSC, they grade them on A, B, C, and Z zones, but it's this geometric target that doesn't look like anything like a body. Here we just overlaid it so we can use them both. But the A-zone represents a critical hit, right? Anything in the A-zone is acceptable. You shoot somebody in the heart and they just gurgle a little bit and then they kind of collapse and go. They don't shoot back, they don't do anything. They just, and they like they're gonna hawk a loogie on you and they go away. You shoot them here in the head, especially if you shoot them in this triangle, which is known as the CNS shutdown, central nervous system shutdown. So if I drew a point to the end of each of my eyebrows and then to the crown of my nose, you put one in there, they don't gurgle, they don't flutter, they don't do anything. Like, it's the express elevator. They just, all nervous drops out and they go down and they crumple in the spot that they're standing. It's great if that's what your goal is, but the problem is, this is what's called a high percentage shot. This is a low percentage shot. High percentage meaning if I make an error and I'm outside of my margin of error, I'm still in the vitals. Here, if I miss and I'm outside, it could be a full miss. Because there's less surface area, this is what's known as a low percentage shot. So low percentage shots are good, but you don't go for them initially for headshots. Although everybody would like, I'm gonna go for a headshot, right? It's a tough shot. I wanna go for center mass, right? High thoracic, they call it in the law enforcement. So I want high thoracic shots, especially when we're doing shotguns, because I'm a big shotgunner, that's my jam. And I teach a shotgun course with a couple of buddies of mine from Austin PD. And it's high thoracic. You put a shotgun round in there, dude, and it's just like cancel Christmas. Tell the relatives not to come, dude, because he's going away, right? Or he or she or they. So that's what we're gonna aim for. But now we're looking at multiple targets because we did controlled pairs before, but now it's a controlled pair, and then I'm gonna throw in an additional target. Because we're gonna do what's called 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. In the military, that's known as a failure drill, meaning I shot him twice and I know I connected here in this high thoracic area, but he didn't die. What do I have to assume? Yeah, he's got some type of protective gear on. And so now I have to shift to low percentage targets. They're my only option, okay? This is often referred to in competitive shooting as the Mozambique, because a British soldier that got in a tick in Mozambique was the first one to kind of come up with this, and they started shooting it. The British and the British SAS, the pairs and the SAS, started shooting this as a staple, and they just referred to it as the Mozambique because that's where they first came up with it. Meaning like they were shooting people and the guys weren't going down because they didn't realize that these rebels had gotten their hands on body armor. And so he was saying, hey, put 2 in the chest, and then if that doesn't work, transition to the head. Really, it doesn't matter fundamentally why you're doing it. What I want you to do is understand that what we're doing is what multiple target indexing or multiple target acquisition is what we're working on. It's 2 targets, but it's on the same silhouette. So you're gonna shoot 2 in the chest, and they're gonna transition and shoot 1 in the head. So now I'm having you move from one target to another. The key there is that my eyes get there first, all right? I don't stay in the sights. I don't shoot, and then drive my weapon up looking in the sights like this. I shoot my first 2 and I look to the head, and then I bring my sights and park them in my line of sight. Because no different if I was looking at something and drew my weapon and parked my sights. I don't draw my weapon and look at my sights and come up to it. That's very inefficient. Plus, you'll find once we start shooting multiple targets, they're gonna start to get far. I'm gonna give you more targets farther apart. When we do that, if I stay in my sights, what happens is I build a bunch of momentum going to this target. And when I get there, I'll start to squeeze, but I've built all this momentum and I wind up shooting past it. And I have to correct and come back to it because I made this swing. What I want you to do is shoot, just look to the next thing, and then park the sights neatly in your line of sight and make your shot. So my eyes will always get there first. If you watch competitive shooters shoot, they have multiple targets. They're like, shoot, look, shoot, look, shoot. They're not going like this, because then you're just looking through this tiny window, and by the time you see that thing in there, you've driven up a bunch of energy and you'll go past it. It'll be clear if you're doing it because you'll have 2 great shots and then this high in the head one. And you'll be like, yep, man, you're driving your sights, we can see it. You guys might not do it because I told you, but we see it with students here all the time. Be like, hey, that's indicative of the fact that you're trying to stay in your sights and you're not realizing it. So just look to your next target. It's not rocket surgery. Nice controlled pair like you did. Work on that, breaking that round at full extension. Work on feeling that trigger when it breaks, right? Controlled pair, look to the next target, shift your sight so they park neatly in your line of sight, and let it rip. It'd be no different as I put my finger out there and I put it on your chest, I look at your head and just park my finger right in my line of sight. You guys can do it to me. It's easy when you do it that way, but if I take it and go like this, and then when I get here, you see there's this, you know, I want to get rid of that, that causes a problem when I'm trying to shoot quickly and accurately, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So that's what we're going to do. It's not difficult. Quackurately. It's like a doctor does. Yeah, he did it quackurately. So we're gonna start this from here and then we're gonna move up. What I want you to do is aim small, miss small, like I said. So I'm not aiming for this box. I'm gonna pick a vertebrae and try and aim there, all right? That way my margin of error is within the greater area and I keep everything in the A zone. I want everything in the A zone. I want you to try and hit the CNS shutdown when you do it. So you have to refine to do that, but anything in the A zone counts. Right, but I want you to try and put it in the triangle, right? Eyes and ears, everyone, eyes and ears. I'll shoot an example. All right. Shoot ready, stand by.
Oh, wow.
So don't have to do it that fast, but that's as fast as my eyes could get to it and I could settle the red dot on it. This is the vertebrae that I was shooting for. So I'm trying to get it in here. My red dot's still trending a little low because I just put this red dot on. So I'm gonna click it up a little bit, but all good, great kill shots. It's all I'm doing is prepping the trigger, and as soon as that sight settles, my eye gets there, and as soon as I see my sights, my trigger's already prepped, boom, that round breaks. So that's not fast shooting. That's just as efficient shooting can get in marrying all those things up, which is plenty fast, like faster than when most people would think you can do it. But that's not really driving it. That's just saying, yep, that's the pace at which everything settles and is ready to go. Like, everybody here is capable of that, right? I don't want you to drive that. I want you to feel it naturally. Like, where does it reset and when can I see the sights? And I just waiting for acceptable sight picture. All I'm doing, I'm like, yep, it's in there. Pull the rest of your trigger. Yep, it's in there. Pull the rest of my trigger. I see it. Yep, it's in there. And that's all I'm doing. I don't want you to get like, I don't want perfect shots. I want acceptable shots with a slow squeeze, and you'll be surprised how good your shots are, right? Because if you wait out there trying to get it perfect, remember that thing, you're vulnerable as long as that thing's out there. I want that thing back in retention as soon as possible.